Hey and welcome to the Daily Man United News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Harry Maguire strongly hints at his best Man United position in a frank interview. Manchester United defender Harry Maguire has hinted to manager Erik ten Hag that he is best suited to playing deeper and defending in his own box. The United skipper spoke to the club media ahead of the team's Carabao Cup tie against Aston Villa tonight, just days after suffering a devastating defeat at the hands of Unai Emery's side. Maguire reflected on the 1-0 win against West Ham, where in the last minutes of the game, he, Lisandro Martinez, and David De Gea's heroics earned the Red Devils all 3 points. Maguire and Martinez were pinned back by West Ham's advances, but held firm to see out the game in fine fashion, the Englishman said. As a centre back and a centre back who likes to defend the box, it's really the last 20 minutes against West Ham are really enjoyable. Also, they are really tense. It's something that me and Licha were speaking about. They are the moments you want to play for. You want to defend, you want to hold on to that clean sheet, do everything you can to keep the ball out of the back of the net, and I think we did it really well in the last 20 minutes. Maguire's critics have pointed out that his lack of pace does not suit an Erik ten Hag system, which requires speedy centre-backs with explosive recovery pace to play high up the pitch. As per Maguire's own admission, he is more comfortable playing inside the box, where he thrives, as he did against West Ham. In his interview, the 29-year-old added that the players must look to venture deep into cup competitions and fight on all fronts. He rued the team's struggles last year, which saw United drop out early in domestic competitions on top of finishing 6th in the Premier League. Maguire finished off by issuing a rallying call to his teammates that they must look to win silverware this season in an effort to restore the club to its former glory. Patrice Evra advises Donny van de Beek to leave Manchester United and go where he feels loved. Manchester United icon Patrice Evra has advised Donny van de Beek to leave Manchester for a club where he feels loved. The ex-Red Devil feels the Holland international is not respected in England. The 25-year-old joined the Old Trafford side in 2020 from Ajax. At the Eredivisie outfit, the midfielder caught a lot of people's eyes with his performances in the Champions League. However, he has been unable to replicate that form in Manchester, and speaking to Betfair, Evra believes the pressure at United is not helping Van de Beek. Evra went on to say, "My advice to him is that he needs to go somewhere where he feels loved. The problem in England, not just Manchester, is that people don't respect him. He is a very good player. He is losing his time, he is getting injured, he is not playing enough, and when he plays, all the pressure is on him. I don't think he can deal well with the pressure. Go to where you feel loved is my advice." With the arrival of Erik ten Hag in the United dugout, some fans felt the 25-year-old had the chance to revive his career with us. The Holland international had been impressive under the former Ajax head coach in Amsterdam. Unfortunately, Van de Beek has been unable to make a mark as of yet under ten Hag at the Old Trafford side. Fitness issues have once again marred his season up until now, and the 25-year-old has not made the most of the chances he has been given in recent weeks. Thus, it would be best for the midfielder to part ways with United after an underwhelming spell. However, whether the Holland international ends up leaving the club in January remains to be seen. France manager Didier Deschamps optimistic about injury of Manchester United star Raphael Varane. Manchester United centre-back Raphael Varane, who is currently out with an injury, is in contention to feature for France against Australia in the World Cup. The 29-year-old has been included in the Didier Deschamps squad for the prestigious tournament. Les Bleus take on Australia in their opening game of Group D in Qatar. The Deschamps team will also go up against Denmark and Tunisia to qualify for the knockout rounds. Speaking on his decision to include Varane in the 25-man squad via Manchester Evening News, the French manager revealed he was optimistic about the Old Trafford side's centre-back playing against the team from the land down under. Didier went on to say, "For Varane, it's a little longer injury, but he will be available for the first match against Australia if all is fine." The former Real Madrid defender picked up an injury during the Red Devils' trip to Stamford Bridge. He limped off at the hour mark against Graham Potter's team, who eventually drew 1-1 with Chelsea. However, United have lost an essential player in Varane, and the results in the last few weeks have reflected his importance to the side. The 29-year-old had been in fine form before being sidelined. He had signed for the Red Devils in the summer of 2021. However, fitness issues in the French defender's debut campaign in Manchester hampered his game time. Fortunately, under Erik ten Hag, Varane has gotten back to his best alongside Lisandro Martinez in the backline. The defender had been a key member of the Deschamps 2018 World Cup winning team. He has been a regular part of Le Bleu starting lineup since the 2014 tournament in Brazil. France and Varane will evidently hope to defend their title as world champions in Qatar and try to lift the golden trophy once again, but it remains to be seen whether the centre-back is fit enough to play every game in the Middle East. Fred said to be offered a new 3-year Manchester United deal on lower wages. Manchester United find themselves in a situation whereby a number of first-team stars have their contracts expiring at the end of the season. These players include Marcus Rashford, Luke Shaw, David De Gea and Fred. United, however, have the option to extend their contracts by one additional year. Most of these players will be free to sign pre-contract agreements with other interested suitors from January should the Red Devils decide against taking that option. As per multiple reports, the club has put a hold on awarding new bumper deals while the season is ongoing and will leave the final decision to Erik ten Hag. Both the hierarchy and the manager want to be in sync regarding who deserves improved terms in an effort to correct the mistakes of the past where undeserving players were rewarded with massive wages. One player who could be in line for fresh terms is Fred. The Brazilian, according to the relatively reliable Mufc, is set for a new 3-year deal at Old Trafford. Should this come to pass, the 29-year-old could be 32 by the time his stay at the Theatre of Dreams comes to an end. However, this is not the most surprising news. The report adds that Fred will be put on lower wages. The midfielder currently earns around £120,000 a week. So far, Fred has been unable to break into Ten Hag's first team, with the Dutch boss preferring a double pivot of Casemiro and Christian Eriksen. In Eriksen's absence against Tottenham, Fred was superb and showed that he still has a lot to contribute in a United shirt. Hopefully, with a new deal, he can show this more consistently and position himself as a mainstay in the manager's rebuild. Dusan Vlahovic would be unbelievable for Manchester United, says a journalist. Manchester United have been tipped to make a sensational swoop for Juventus forward Dusan Vlahovic. The Serbian striker has been linked with the Red Devils repeatedly over the last couple of months as the club prepares for life without Cristiano Ronaldo. As reported by the People's Person last week, United are not seriously considering Vlahovic as an option in the immediate future. However, journalist Dean Jones insists that the Serie A hitman would be a brilliant signing for United. Speaking to Give Me Sport, the transfer insider gave his thoughts on how Vlahovic would fare at Old Trafford. He went on to say, "In terms of a fit for United, I think Vlahovic would be unbelievable, and it'd be a massive statement if they can convince someone of that level to come in." It's difficult to disagree with the former Fiorentina goal scorer exactly the profile lacking from the United squad. Vlahovic possesses both pace and physicality while having the capability to score practically any kind of goal. Man United have managed just 18 goals from their opening 13 Premier League matches, and a player like Vlahovic would certainly help ease their struggles in converting chances. But with Juventus having only signed the striker at the start of the year, it's highly unlikely that they would be happy to let him go, particularly given his importance to the Italian side. They paid over £66 million to secure his services and can count him as one of the few genuine world-class players in their squad. While United are unlikely to sign Vlahovic anytime soon, a striker of a similar profile must surely be at the top of Erik ten Hag's transfer wish list. Manchester United crazy about Enzo Fernandez seeking January transfer. Erik ten Hag wants Manchester United to sign Enzo Fernandez, and a January transfer is a possibility. That is according to Portuguese outlet Record via Mail Sport, who claim that the Red Devils are crazy about the midfielder. Fernandez only made the move to Lisbon in the summer, but is already considered the most valuable player in Portugal. According to Portuguese football expert Sofia Oliveira, the Argentine will be available next summer, despite the fact that he will have only spent one season at Benfica by that point. However, Records report indicates that United are moving up their timeline and could try to sign Enzo just 6 months after his move to Benfica. United tracked Fernandez during the last transfer window, but did not make a move for the playmaker. Benfica were able to snap up the midfielder for just £8 million from River Plate and are likely to turn a huge profit on the player, having slapped a release clause worth over £100 million on him. With Man United still in need of reinforcement in the center of the pitch, those at Old Trafford are likely to feel more than a tinge of regret in not making a move earlier. The 21-year-old is now the talk of Europe, having helped Benfica to the top of their domestic league and the top of their Champions League group. He has played in every game for the Portuguese Giants and has become crucial to their success. His performances have also caught the eye of Lionel Scaloni, who called Fernandez up to the Argentina national team recently. Enzo is likely to play in Qatar World Cup, which will only increase his soaring value and the interest in him. Liverpool and Chelsea have already been touted as possible suitors for Fernandez along with the Red Devils, given that Oliveira believes that Enzo could have the same kind of impact as Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United may want to ensure they stay at the front of the queue. Napoli forward Victor Osimhen of interest as Manchester United draw up striker transfer shortlist. Manchester United are shortlisting transfer targets for a goal scorer, and Napoli forward Victor Osimhen is one of the names being eyed by the club, according to Manchester Evening News. The 23-year-old Nigerian is of interest to the Red Devils, as he has performed well in 2 European leagues. The Old Trafford side are compiling long and short lists ahead of the upcoming transfer windows. United feel they have enough players who can play on the left-hand side of the attack. Thus, in the summer of 2022, Erik ten Hag recommended a right winger in Antony. However, the number 9 position is a cause for concern for some fans, and supporters would prefer the club bring in reinforcements in the winter transfer window, but the club are keen on starting the second phase of their rebuild next summer. Osimhen proved his qualities at Lille and is now the leading man for the high-flying Napoli. However, whether United can convince him to move to Manchester remains to be seen. Man United may consider signing Memphis Depay in January. Manchester United fans might be interested to learn that Memphis Depay's situation has been described as open ahead of the January transfer window. That is according to Fabrizio Romano, writing in his exclusive daily briefing for Caught Offside, with the transfer news expert stating that Depay is not currently in talks with any club, but that there is a chance he will leave Barcelona in January. The Netherlands international is a top talent on his day, but he hasn't been at his best for Barca, and it wouldn't be too surprising if both parties felt it would be best for him to move on. Man United had some contact over signing Depay in the summer, as Romano previously revealed, and they surely still consider the 28-year-old due to their lack of reliable attacking options right now. Cristiano Ronaldo has not been at his best for some time, while Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho and Antony have all been fairly inconsistent this season. Discussing Depay's future, Romano said, "Memphis Depay's future is open. There is a chance he will go in January, yes, but the decision also depends on the proposal. He is a free agent in June, so he'd only accept a top club. At the moment, I am told there are no negotiations with any club, and the World Cup could be an important chance for him." Red Devils fans will surely keep an eye on this saga, and Depay would also surely have interest from other big clubs in the Premier League and elsewhere in Europe. I will be uploading daily Man United news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.